Hey guys, what's up? Uh, yeah, again, sorry I'm starting a little bit late, you guys. Got caught up doing some stuff with the calls. Still getting a little bit set up here, but hey, just gave you guys more time to join in, right? Hey, what's up, Kenneth? Yeah, so for today's Sunday session, I decided to take one of your guys' suggestions, and today I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna go through some drills and some exercises for some parkour vaults and also how to do some cartwheel setups. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it about another minute. Let everybody show up. Because yeah, I know that there were some people that were still waiting, that were expecting it. They were still expecting it at 7. But yeah, like I said, I got a little bit caught up finishing some stuff on the calls. But yeah, I'm here, and yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it one more minute. If you want to send an invite to anybody, and yeah, so it's gonna be different than the other live videos I did. So feel free to ask questions, suggest some other moves if you guys want to see something else. Because yeah, like I said, I'm gonna try to go for about 45 minutes to an hour, or at least until the live kicks me off. Yeah, let's do this, you guys. Yeah. So, let's go ahead and do a little warm-up, you guys. So, over the course of the warm-up, I'm also gonna show you guys a couple of the workouts and explain kind of why, kind of explain the purpose behind the warm-ups, but also yeah, so the purpose behind the warm-ups and how they relate to what we're gonna be working on. So you guys are gonna notice I'm not really doing a lot of static stretches here because those of you guys that don't know, I am not a fan of static stretching. I mean, obviously static stretching has its place as like a cool down exercise, or as just a pure flexibility exercise, but in terms of what I do, I prefer dynamic stretching over static for obvious reasons. Yeah, so first thing we're gonna do is we're just going to kind of warm up our legs a little bit. So starting from about right here, feet about shoulder width apart, we're gonna do some inside-outside kicks or some crescents. So I'm gonna start with my right leg. So I'm just gonna reach it in, get out. So the best way to think of this is think of it like there's a little fence in front of you. So you're just bringing your foot across and then over the fence, okay? So just up and around as many times as you want. So in my case, I'm just gonna do it about 4 or 5 times on each leg. And as you guys can see, as I'm doing it, as soon as my leg comes up, I kind of just let it go where it wants to go, which is actually what you want, because that's going to go into what we're gonna do later. So that. What's up, Luis? So that was inside to out. Now let's do outside to in. So I'm gonna go with that. So I kind of lost my balance there because I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm on a slight hill right now because yeah, couldn't really find a flat spot at this park because people are like really close to like other stuff. The sprinklers are on, or there's like stuff on the ground. So yeah, I'm kind of on a hill right now, so if you guys see me kind of losing my balance a little bit, that might be why. But it's actually good because I need to work on my balance. So yeah, so you guys are just joined in. Yeah, doing something a little bit different today. Instead of just talking, I'm actually gonna go through a couple exercises because somebody suggested that I do some conditioning or some parkour drills and workouts for how to do vaults, and then how to do some setups for tricks that don't involve traditional gymnastics. So yeah, so that was a leg warm up, inside outside kick, outside inside kick with each leg, just to loosen up our hips, loosen up our legs a little bit. So now we're gonna just stand again about hip width apart, and then we're just gonna let our chest hang. So we're just gonna hang down like so. So if you can touch the ground, great. If not, no big deal. Just let your body hang if possible. Try to have your toes facing forwards. I know that's hard for some people. I used to have that problem, so yeah, we're just gonna hang here, and then we're just going to sway side to side. So as you guys can see, I'm kind of just letting my body hang loose. If you can actually touch the ground, you can brush the floor side to side, or you can actually tie your arms like I'm doing here. So this is loosening up our legs a little bit more, loosening up our ankles, our knees, our hips, our lower back, and actually it's actually helping us extend our spine a little bit. So there's that. So that's actually going to relate to what's going to go on later. Stop, Lemus. So yeah, that's actually going to go into one of the tricks we do later. So again, all these warm-ups, they relate to something. We're not just doing them for the sake of doing them, but at the same time, this is kind of my typical warm-up, just because it hits so many different areas of the body. It warms up so many different areas, which if you guys didn't hear it a while ago, I'm not a fan of static stretching, so just standing, reaching, and holding. Not really a fan of that. So you guys are gonna notice all these stretches, they're all motion based. Okay, so we let our chest hang. Now we're just going to reach overhead. So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna start with our arms out, and then think of it like you're here, and then tipping over to the side. So letting this arm reach down, and then back to center, and then up, center, then up. So when you do this, you can either think of it like this, that you're making a straight line, or you can kind of do what I'm doing, is when you hit heel, let that arm sink, and then kind of let this arm fall over your head, so not in front of it. You could do it behind, but I like to put my shoulder against my ear, and then just kind of let the weight take over. So this, stretching out our sides, stretching out our shoulder, and like I said, the side of our core, so the side of our hips. So again, this is going to relate to one of the tricks we're going to do later. Not necessarily one of the tricks, but this motion is going to relate to something. So there's that. So that was arms out. Now let's do arms in. What's up, Elite Motorsports? Elite, I'm gonna hit you guys up pretty soon, because I don't know if you guys have been following. Actually, no, I haven't been telling you guys about it. But I'm building. Yeah, so a lot of people will notice. So you guys on the live right now, you guys are getting. I mean, I told some people about it. I'm just not, showing people it. But you guys on the live stream, if you haven't heard, I'm building a motor for the truck right now. So it's not the one that's in it. So you guys are wondering, that's like, oh, you keep saying you're gonna take the truck in, but we keep seeing you drive it. Yeah, that's because I'm building the other motor right now. So I'm debating, should I just put the transmission in now, or should I wait until that other motor's built? Which, yeah, the thing with that other motor is I'm attempting to go individual throttle bodied on it. So yeah, I might have to hit you guys up on that. Just let me know, but yeah, for sure. So yeah, I don't know how well you guys know Volkswagen engines, but I know when it comes to carburetors and ITBs, you guys know a lot about that. So, and then apparently, according to all the Volkswagen dudes, if I'm gonna run ITB in addition to like the general standalone ECU, I might as well run nitrous through it too, since apparently it's gonna be taking in a lot of L, so I might as well supplement it with the nitrous. But yeah, so that was an upper body workout. Okay, so we did our legs, we did our back, we did our shoulders. So this was just warming up my chest a little bit. Again, warming up the knees. So you guys can see as I'm toning, I'm actually toning my knee in a little bit. So there's that. And then now we're gonna go down and we're going to do a lunge. So we do our lunge like so, big step out, So you guys can see my back leg is as far away from my front leg as I can make it, so I have a big gap. My knee that's in front, it's just a little bit behind my heel, so you guys can see that line. I don't know if you guys can see, but yeah, see, my knee is just slightly behind my heel. Another good rule of thumb here is to make sure that you can see your toes in front of your knee. So see, if I pull my chest back, I can still see my toes. If I can't see my toes, that's how I know that my foot's too far back. So we're not just gonna hold this, okay? So we're not just gonna hold the lunge. I just did it. I just held this so you guys can see. What we're gonna do actually is and then this is why I wanted you guys to have your foot out, is because you're going to push forward. As you push, you're gonna push it as far as you can push it. Hold it for a second or two, and then push it straight. So see, the position of my back leg never changed. I'm still up on my knee. I'm just pushing it, bent, and then I'm pushing it straight. Okay, so heel, you can either use your hand to help push it down. Or in my case, since I don't need to, I'm just gonna reach my hands out. So as I push back, I'm reaching for my heels. So I'll do that a couple times. Push, reach, push, reach. So that's again stretching out our hips, but it's also stretching out my quads and my hamstrings. So switch legs now. And again, big step out, push, back, push, and then lean back. So this is also a pretty good way to work up your splits also. So a lot of people think that it's just simply pushing yourself down into a split or just holding it. That's one way you can do it, but for somebody like me who has very muscular legs, just holding a stretch isn't really going to do anything. That's why, like I said, I'm kind of forcing myself into it, and then I'm forcing myself back. So that's that's like I said, it's a dynamic stretch. So it's stretching the muscle as I'm using it. So that's that. And then now, what I'm gonna do here is this is probably gonna be the only stretch that I kind of hold. That's because, as you guys can see, I'm kind of doing a side split here, but it's half and half. So one leg is straight, one leg is in what's called a frog stance. So I'm doing half a frog stretch, half of a side split. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna pull my toes, then I'm gonna push it straight. So I'm gonna push my toes out, so I'm gonna point them, then I'm gonna pull them in. Okay, so I can either do it like this, let my weight do the stretching, or if you don't have that much strength, try to get your hands as close to you as you can, because you don't want to lean forward, because then that's going to stretch the front side of your hip. You want it to stretch the bottom side of it, okay? Which you're still going to feel it in the front, but you kind of want to get it underneath too. So get your hands as close to you as you can, push and pull. So just like so. So just like we did with the lunge, you're going to point, hold it for a couple seconds, and then pull. So here you're going to feel it in the side of your leg. Now when you point, in my case, because I have a slight injury on my MCL, ACL, MCL, it's on the side, I feel it in the side of my knee. Okay? Then when I pull it here, I feel it on the AC. So now I'm going to switch sides. So again, one leg goes straight, one leg goes on my knees. We're just logged in right now. Oh, okay. Hey, what's up, dude? So you can make it to the meet this morning. Probably should have told you about that sooner. But anyway, so like I said, I'm right here, pushing it straight, then pulling it. Push and pull. So again, we have strength. You can do it without your hands on the ground. In my case, I have my hands on my hips. But if you don't, just put them down in front of you. You can try to focus your weight on top of that knee. So you don't want to sit back. You kind of, just like when we did the lunge, you kind of want to just hold yourself up. Right, so Now we're gonna go into a seal stretch. So here's where I'm actually gonna show you guys three workouts, but it's actually one exercise, but it's 3 or 4 variations. Okay, so what this exercise is for? This exercise is it can be used as a core stretch, a chest exercise, a arm exercise, and a shoulder exercise. So this is a full upper body exercise. So this is actually one of the exercises I use in my classes to help my students build up the strength to do Kong vaults or pop-ups. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go into a seal stretch or a you're gonna go into a seal stretch. It's also called a cobra or an upward facing dog in yoga. So you go like so. So you want to make sure that, as you guys can see, your hands are right underneath your shoulders. So your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists, everything's in that line. Squeeze your toes together, tuck in your tailbone, and just lift your shoulders up as not lift your shoulders, lift your chin up as high as you can, and relax your shoulders. This is a common mistake people make. They try to go like this. Okay, you don't want to have your shoulders up to your heels. Relax them, as much as you can, and then just hold yourself up. So this is where the exercise comes in. So you can hold the stretch. Then what you can do is you can drop your chest down. So you can either lay yourself on the ground, or in my case, I try to get as close as I can without actually fully touching my chest. Then I push up. Okay, so here, chest down, chest up, but again, my chin is up. Okay, so what this motion is simulating, the stretch and this push-up, is me lifting my shoulders and me tucking my hips underneath me. See, I'm feeling flat. So this is like I just dove for a vault. I'm catching myself and I'm pushing myself up. Okay, so how you can variate this? So just doing this is too easy. You can lift your toes up. So toes up, you can go into a mermaid stretch, this is also called. Then you have a little bit more weight. Again, up and down. Okay, so there's that. So that's some push-up variations from your seal stretch, cobra stretch, upward facing dog. Now I'm going to show you guys a shoulder exercise from an upward facing dog. So upward facing dog, the opposite position of what we just did. So here you had your stomach down, chest up. Here, chest is down, bottom is up. So here you can have your feet together, feet apart, completely up to you. But again, try to have everything stacked up. So you guys can see as I'm tucking my head in, my shoulder, elbow, hands, for the most part are in a straight line. But I'm actually supporting myself with my shoulders here, as opposed to just my arms. So what you can do here is walk back and forth on your toes, drop your head down, and then push yourself back up. So down and back up. So as you do this, you're also stretching your legs, so try to push your heels down so you can lift your heels up as you drop, and then push yourself back down to your heels. Or you can drop your head through, then push yourself back up. Okay? So if it's too easy, pull your toes together, so that way you have a little bit more focused of an exercise. What's up, Hydro Dip Concepts? So yeah, so now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna combine those two motions into what's called a dive bomb push-up or a Hindu push-up. So this is probably the best exercise you can do to build up the strength to do a Kong vault or to do a hand hop. The reason why is because you're really focusing a lot of push and a lot of wrist motion. So I'll show you that right now. So how you do it is you're gonna go into your downward facing dog or your seal stretch. So in this case, I'm gonna start in my seal stretch. So while I'm in my seal stretch, like so, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up on my toes. So here I'm gonna do it with my toes wide. So if my toes are wide, I'm then my seal stretch. So bottom's down, chin is up. I'm gonna drop my chest down. Let's see, I'm not touching the ground. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm not touching the ground. I'm holding myself in a really low plank. As I'm in that low plank, I'm gonna slide my weight back to my heels. You'll see, now I'm in my downward facing dog. Then I'm gonna drop myself down, slide through as close to the ground as I can again, back to that sliding position. Okay? So that's it with your toes wide. What's up, MC Malk? So that's it with your toes wide. Again, if you want to make it a little bit more difficult, you can pull your toes in, or you can also, like I said, start in the downward facing dog, so that way you can start like so with your toes really close. Then, like I said, push down and slide up. So it's supposed to look like this. Going up and then down and up. Okay, that motion simulating is that simulating, like I said, you hitting your hands and flicking yourself through. So I don't have anything to Kong off my heel, but if I was to just do a floor Kong, it would look like this. So if I dove out, hit my hands, and then see I'm pulling my feet in, which is a common mistake people make when they do Kongs. They pop themselves up and they leave those shoulders down all day. Leave their hands where they're at. So you guys can already see, as I landed, so from here, even if I'm looking forward as I jump, even if I'm looking forward, my weight's still going forward because my arms are a lot shorter than my legs. So my weight is just naturally going to go forward onto my hands. Versus if I pull my shoulders up, see, it's going to make me stand up. So again, on my heel, and I jump in. See? Makes it easier for me to stand up. So that was a workout on how to build up strength to do your Kong vaults. This one is going to be for the speed vaults as well as the thief and lazies. And then you can also, and then then I'll show you guys a variation. I'll show you guys a variation for how to how to integrate the motion for a reverse vault, which is a backward speed vault. So in terms of the speed vault, lazy vault, thief vault variations, it all starts from a side plank. So like so, side plank. So from here, outside leg, which in this case is my right leg, just going to stay in place. My left leg is just going to reach through and back, through and back. Okay, because that's mostly the issue that people have with the speed and the thief vaults. They try to crunch up because they think they can't support themselves, which, as you guys can see, this is scrunched up, and then see all your weight is going on that wrist. And then, in addition to the fact that you don't really have a lot of space to weave through here, versus here, see, nice and supported, nice and tight, and I'm just stepping through. Okay, so that's for the speed vault. If you want to add a little bit to this to make it into a reverse vault, what you can do is you can go from a push-up, a push-up plank, walk out to the side vault, and then step back into a plank. Okay? The reason why I say that is because as you come into a speed vault, speed vault, reverse vault, you dive out, you hit one hand, you go into your speed, you go into the speed vault motion, but then you'd push away. Okay? So here you're not doing the full turn, but you're practicing going from that reaching motion to a backwards motion, back to land. Okay? So as you step through, you can also do a push-up in between each one, and then in terms of the lazy and the thief, again, you can start from a side plank, you can start from the plank itself, and instead of stopping at the side plank, you can walk it all the way around to a tummy table. So you can go like this. So you can go, so if I'm starting from a plank, walk myself out to my side plank, then I keep walking to a tummy table. Then if I want, I can lift up one leg, lift up the other, practice pushing my hips up. Then you can keep walking it around, or you can walk it back. Okay, so that's the that's a couple drills and workouts for the lazy and thief vaults, as well as the speed, reverse speed, and the speed step. Okay, so let me see how I am on time really quick. Okay, alright, cool. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna go ahead and go through the setup, or at least one of the cartwheel setups, and that is a crescent kick into it. So you guys will hear the entire time, and you guys saw me doing the crescent kicks for warm up. That's where this comes in. That's where this comes into play. So as I'm here, feet are wide, as I do my crescent kick, I'm just gonna let that leg pull me, so you guys can see. I go from here. So as you guys can see, I go from here. As I swing my leg out, I'm stepping out into a lunge. So again, if I start from right here, if I'm doing it this way now, as I swing that leg around, see, I'm actually letting my weight take me. So because I favor this side, that's why I'm actually leaning this way. Because if I actually let that leg take me, see, it's gonna actually drag me. Because that's how much momentum is coming through that kick, and then that's how much momentum is coming through the swipe. So that's why I said when we did the warm up, that's why I said when you do it, don't try to stiffen up and hold it up the whole way. Once you hit that peak, just let it go where it wants to go. Let it ball and chain. So that's exactly what we're gonna do now. So as you ball and chain it, you're gonna step out, and then from here you have your choice. You can either reach out into a tip up or into a donkey kick, or you can just do a side vault on the ground. So go this way just for balance. So as I swing out, as I land, hands reach out, like I'm gonna do a really sloppy cartwheel. Just so then I can feel how much of that momentum is coming through it. Or obviously, as I go full swing, I can go into an actual sumo cartwheel, or a circle cartwheel, as it's also called. And so, in terms of doing your cartwheels, aside from again letting the momentum take you, two common mistakes people make, or actually three common mistakes people make when they try to do a cartwheel, is when they cartwheel, they go like this, which you can kind of see the issue with this already. One hand's gonna hit. Now one hand is holding you up the entire time until the other arm comes around. So how you want to think of your cartwheel, regardless of whether you're doing it from a lunge, or from a squat, or in this case from a swing, is you always want to think of it like you're holding your head with your shoulders. Okay, so as you guys can see, as I came around, see, I pressed my heel against my outside shoulder, then I tried to catch my head with my other arm. So see, as I come around, I'm already here, so as I hit the ground, I'm holding myself up. Which is why I mentioned when you do the crescent kick, you have the option of also doing a handstand. So you can practice coming around, having your arms up the same time same time your foot comes down. So as you hit the ground, get even, and then you can practice stretching out into it. Which, in terms of your handstand, people freak out because they, again, aren't used to holding their hands out. So the best advice I can give is stretch out. The more you stretch, the less likely you're going to be to fall over. So if I'm just doing a regular standing handstand here, I'm gonna reach my hands out as far as I can. So that's one way. Reach your hands out as far as you can. So as you kick up, no, regardless of how hard you kick up, unless you really fling yourself up, okay, you're never gonna flip yourself over. In addition to, if you guys saw, when I kicked up, I kept one leg hanging loose. The other leg kicked up, one leg came up a little bit, but I kept it behind me. So if anything, you wanna try to keep your eyes on your toes. So see, regardless of how hard I kick up, because that leg's in front of me, it's always gonna pull me back down. So that, in terms of the handstand, that's that. In terms of the cartwheel, again, first mistake is people with the arms. Second mistake is when they come down, they still right at the ground, or they try to still between their hands, which you guys have probably heard me say in other videos, especially if you watch the other live videos that I did on the Jimny page. Your body's gonna follow what you're looking at. So if you're looking at your hands, you're gonna follow your hands the entire time, which is why what tends to happen is people tend to go and then they lose the momentum partway through. In addition to, they don't really travel. They just kind of kick up into a real sideways handstand, and then, like I said, they lose the momentum. So how to fix that is, as you come on, as you come onto your cartwheel, look through your armpit. So if anything, try to look the other direction. So try to look the direction you just came from. Look through your armpit. So see, regardless of whether, regardless of how hard you kick, as long as you're stretching, so you're gonna make it around. In addition to the last mistake people make, they hang on to the ground. Okay, get off the ground. So again, all those pushing exercises, that's also gonna help you here. In addition to that swipe, because that swipe's gonna give you a lot of momentum. If you're stretching, it's gonna yank you off your hands on its own. You see, I wasn't even trying to lift up on that one. It just yanked me with it on its own. Okay, so that's the crescent kick with cartwheel. You can also do a, so yeah, like I said, you can also do a, that was inside to out. You can also do a outside to in. You can do a Gumby, or you can do a spinning inside out into your cartwheel. Or obviously, if you already have a cartwheel, you're trying to build up momentum for an aerial, this is also a really good way to do it. Doing a lunge inside out into a butterfly, or a step in into your butterfly, which exact same motion, only difference is instead of just standing in place, you're gonna face backwards. As you turn around, leg goes out, then see I'm already lunging, so I can sweep into the butterfly kick a lot faster. So as I'm here, step in, turn, and then as you guys can see, because I'm generating that much momentum, it's really easy for me to actually turn myself upside down. In addition to the fact I'm stretching. Okay, as you guys can see, stretching in these tricks is really important, especially in tricking. Okay, that's what makes tricking really, really unique in terms of traditional gymnastics tumbling, is that there's a lot of extension. Okay. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much all I had planned to talk with you guys about. Again, I apologize if I talked too much. Again, I try to make this a little bit more relaxed in terms of the other videos I've done. And yeah, so you guys got a little insight on how I think in terms of how these motions work. And so yeah, whoever suggested this idea for the video, thank you. I think it worked out really well. I hope you guys learned something. Feel free to comment down below what you guys thought. Again, if I talked too much, that's because I try to make this a little bit more relaxed. If I over detailed things, you know, again, be brutally honest. Trying to really, you know, improve my teaching style, because obviously, you know, considering I've been doing this for about 12 years now, so, you know, it's good just to have some feedback, as little as, you know, large as it is, because it's really easy to get comfortable, especially when you've been doing it as long as I have. You start sticking to habits, and then you find it, you know, you find that you're not adapting to different times, which, you know, completely goes against the whole philosophy of protocol and feeling. But yeah, so that was the video for this week. Didn't really chat too much with everybody, but yeah, again, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like it. If you have suggestions on any other videos I can do, feel free to mention it in the comments, DM me, and yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Hope you guys had a great weekend, and I will see all you guys next week. Later.